Tonight, I just wanna take you high. Throw your hands up in the sky. Let's set this party on fire.
Players, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do?
24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe, so clear.
Look out! Pop, pop, it's showtime. 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 Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know. Gone time. Oh, they don't know. Gone time. I bet they know as soon as we walk in. Showed up. I'm wearing Cuban links.
Yeah.
Designer mix. Yeah. Inglewood's finest shoes.
Whoop, whoop.
Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Known to give the color red the blues. Woo, shit. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be jacking. Keep up. Players only. Come on, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do?
24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe, so clear.
Look out. Second verse for the hustlers.
Hustlers.
Gangsters.
Gangsters.
Bad bitches and
Pack of fan friends!
I cannot preach.
Uh-oh.
I cannot preach.
Uh-oh.
I gotta show 'em how a pimp get it in. First, take your sip,
Sip.
do your dip,
Dip.
spend your money like money ain't shit.
Ooh, ooh, we too fresh.
Got to blame it on Jesus.
Hashtag blessed.
They ain't ready for me. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket.
Keep up.
So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket.
Keep up.
Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be jacking.
Keep up.
Players only.
Come on, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Week 5. It came down to the wire, and it took a small miracle, but the Vikings finally got a victory in 2020. Slightly larger miracle, no COVID cases meant our game actually took place. This week, the Vikings are on to Seattle for like the 6th year in a row, it feels like. I don't know who we pissed off at the NFL headquarters, but I've had enough of Seattle. Especially like we got them during their reign of terror. We haven't gotten them when they've been terrible. Anyway, because it's a primetime game on Sunday night, I made a special intro video, a vignette, if you will. Pinkies up. The music was Bruno Mars' 24 Karat Magic, one of my all-time favorites. And the footage, obviously not the footage of me, but the football footage, comes from the Vikings online video series, The Voyage. It's basically like a Viking-centric Hard Knocks, if you follow football. It's, footage of practice during the week, interviews with the coaches, with the players, highlighting big plays, the mic'd up kind of stuff. You get to hear the players talking on the field and talking to each other. It's a cool behind-the-scenes thing. I think it's every other week in about 15 minutes. So anyway, almost all the football footage comes from that because it's so good. Hopefully they don't come after me. This is all for fun, all totally free. Think of it as a school project. Please don't sue me. Obviously, I'm not in the office. It's October now, but it is so beautiful out that what's the point in having this view, and then cooping myself up in an office? So I'm outside. Also, Haley got a new video game, so the office is kind of locked down right now. Anyway, last time I had a guest on, I think it was Tyler. It's been that long now, a couple weeks, and we had Oliphant Brewing's Super Squishy. Because it's October and we've rapidly careened into Halloween season, this week I am drinking Oliphant Brewing's Spooky Squishy. I'm probably going to have to flip that. I don't know if that'll be backwards. But the label made me laugh, and I really like their Super Squishy, so I thought, why not give this a crack? It is a fruit sour ale brewed with apples, spices, lactose, vanilla, and sea salt. 5% alcohol by volume. Oliphant Brewing LLC in Somerset, Wisconsin. Let's crack it open here before the sun sets. Skål för det där. It's not quite as when Tyler and I drank the Super Squishy, it was really fruity, almost like a malt, like a ice cream malt, not a malt beverage. Really sweet, really smooth. The creaminess is very true in this one. It's less sweet, but I think honestly this might be more appealing to people who are intrigued by sours but are kind of still expecting a beer. This is still super creamy, super smooth. That lactose smoothness really comes through, but a little more on the beer side. Still sweet. You know, it's definitely not an IPA or even like just a lager. It's still a sour, but a relatively gentle one. I would strongly recommend this to somebody who wants to try a sour but maybe isn't quite ready for the full fruit berry blast that the Super Squishy was. Thank you, Oliphant, for brewing this delicious beer. On to tonight's game. I have realized over the course of the last 2 years of doing these videos that I am a pretty severely big picture guy. I try really hard not to get suckered into, the week by week roller coaster that is the NFL season. When there's only 16 games, every game matters so much. And, we tend to, if the last play of a lot of games dictates our emotions, our responses so much. The Vikings lost to the Titans on that last minute field goal. If the Titans had missed the field goal, or if the Vikings had pulled that victory off, and we'd been 2-2 this week, we'd have a totally different outlook on our season. But because we went 0-3, it's the klaxons are blaring, the red lights are flashing, all people, women and children first, we got to get off the boat, let's tank for Trevor, it's over. Now again, I know this doesn't happen. The odds of the Vikings running the table now and going 13-3 to end the year, super thin. But I do think it's interesting that we came into the season knowing that our defense was totally turned over. We knew that we lost a huge weapon in Stephon Diggs. We lost our offensive coordinator. We lost our defensive coordinator. Maybe having a rough start is kind of to be expected in a year where we lost all those people and didn't really have a normal offseason program. I don't know if the Vikings can turn this thing around. Offensively, they look really good the last couple weeks. Even against the Packers, and granted it was garbage time, but against the Packers, they still put up 30 points, I think. They look terrible against the Colts, granted. But the last 2 weeks, they've looked really good offensively. I mean, the emergence of Justin Jefferson, 175 yards in one game, over 100 in the next, Thielen over 100, Dalvin Cook over 100. The offense seems to be doing some good things. I don't know how sustainable it is. I mean, against a good defense, we'll probably find out when we play the Bears, but the Seahawks don't have a defense. So this game, by all accounts, is slated to be the highest scoring of the week. It's projected to be a shootout because neither team has looked very good defensively, but looked very good offensively. Russell Wilson has always been one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch. I wish we didn't play him every GD year, but I do love watching him play. I love the way he plays, confidence, he's fast, he's elusive in the pocket, and deadly accurate with his arm. He's also got two great weapons in Lockett and DK Metcalf, and their running back Chris Carson. Their offense is constructed a lot like the Vikings. The Vikings and the Seahawks seem to have this weird duality that I've pointed out in the past. I don't think this week is any different. I think they're both going to play a similar style. I always hesitate to jump on the bandwagon and say this thing's going to be guns blazing, two ships pulling up broadsides and firing back and forth. I think the more we tell ourselves that story, the more likely it is that it doesn't happen and it winds up being some 10-13 snooze fest on Sunday night. But it has the potential to be a fireworks show. And all I hope is that if the Vikings are going to lose again, they go out in a blaze of glory. At this point, I'm torn, like I'm sure a lot of Vikings fans are. You don't really want to have, a 4-12 season or a 6-10 season. You want to either make the playoffs or be so bad that you get a really good draft pick. Good luck being worse than the Jets. Good Lord. But if they are going to lose a bunch of games, I guess I prefer it to be, that's like the Tampa Bay of yesteryear, where your quarterback's throwing as many interceptions as he is touchdowns, and you're, racking up points and still just not, still coming up short in the end. I'm okay with either. I try to remain grateful that we have football every week, and given all the delays and all the problems that we've had, brief pause for motorcycle. Oh no, it's a train of ATV. Given all the games getting moved last week and now this week, there's multiple games being moved. One game is being played that should have been played today is going to get moved to Tuesday. If that game doesn't happen, they can play their game on Thursday. But if the game does happen, then the Thursday game gets moved to Sunday. Let's all just be grateful that we can have football, that we can talk about football, that we can watch football, that we can bet on football. All right, I've gone on long enough, but I hope you all enjoyed the scenery. There's this oak back here. Brilliant yellow right next to the bur oaks right next to it that are that beautiful crimson red. It's always beautiful. I love fall out here. All right, as you all know, I say Skál fyrir þér. It's Icelandic for, cheers to you or to your health or whatever. I'm sure there's a literal translation. I don't speak a lot of Icelandic. But it's crazy out there. Take care of your loved ones. Take care of yourselves. If you're feeling thirsty and want to try a sour, Spooky Squishy by Oliphant Brewing. Enjoyed the games today. Skál fyrir þér. And go Vikings.